continue. Who are the stakeholders in this process of M-governance? The stakeholders are the governments and the state level as well as the central level, the mobile operators in the network provision like the Airtel, Tata Teleservices and etc., various mobile service providers, value added services and application providers who are the developers of solutions and apps for this mobile governance. The third is the citizens or the residents of the country who will be the beneficiaries or interactive persons for this particular thing. The National Payment Corporation of India, the government agencies and the government departments, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, and hardware and equipment manufacturers are all the stakeholders in the mobile e-governance part of it. What are all the different services these mobile governance provide? Various departments utilize and provide services to the citizens of the country. Like in agriculture, we can use SMS and MMS on the field level information from farmer to the centralized service provider of scientists of agriculture as well as farming, their problems and their requirements. And healthcare is another department which can use the SMS or MMS or GPR based applications for the delivery of health services. The financial services like the banking, securities, sales, insurance are some of those areas where the mobile governance is being conceived and applications developed for the benefit of users. The industries like automotive production and sales for their automation and M-governance part of it. The transport department for air, water, road, ticketing, freight and so on and so forth. The logistics which uses warehouses, invoices, orders and FMCG movement of goods and services is one of the departments. The police and the legal services departments of government can also use the mobile governance and mobile applications like these FIR registration, challans for violation of rules and guidelines, and complaint registration and solutions for various departments, or the legal judgments and I can say case status awareness to individual stakeholders like the lawyers or the litigants. Utility billing services like water, electricity, income taxes and so on and so forth are being a few of these departmental which can be conceived. And in fact, to my understanding, if we extend the mobility to each and every department of government to enable the interactions through mobility, will speed up the process of timeline that is required to deliver this service. What are all the G2G services? We mean by G2G the government departments intra or inter-departments use the apps for the workflow management. File status of various stages for monitoring and bringing time complete to the service delivery for optimal levels. Passport departments are passport issue applications, police clearances, challans for violation of rules or fines to be paid, taxes, screening, as well as for security reasons. We can also be some of those applications for G2G as well as security related issues, and many other application developments can be in this direction. Licenses, permissions and approvals and government related issues like pension or PF and many others can be thought over as government to government within the departments or across the departments part of it. Directory services like telephone directory or service information directories or IVR services, status of criminal cases, judgments, these are also various levels of applications that can be happening. In fact, on every walks of life we can find the use of mobility applications either to seek information from the government or deliver complaints or requests to government and receive information on their request from the government database information like birth certificate challan or the time bound payment of taxes and so on and so forth. What are G2B services? G2B services cover the area of business houses and the government transactions, or even the business applications for the intra-government services itself. Data collection is one of those services where survey is also another service as part of it. These include data collection and survey, either a survey on the BC status, survey on the population understanding or awareness of current situations, and data collection on the poor or household surveys and so on and so forth, or data collection for census operations can be some of those applications. Citizen services like e-Seva, like services which are being rendered through third parties by the government, include multi-departmental services being covered through one service agency for customers or the citizens' requirement. Consultancy services can also be a few things where the B2B government services are being required for the permissions or licenses and so on. So platform based applications for B2B or G2B can also be conceived based on various application departments that are required. ERP connectivity is within the business houses to enable them to submit the actual records or database based information to exchange easily, not taking much of time for exchange of communication and information that is required. Spot billing services by the business houses like also be a few of those services which can be run. Verification and validation like security services or surveillance services can also be used for this. Maintenance and enhancement of support and services can also be used between the government and business houses for their delivery mechanisms part of it. I stop here.